Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got the cast of The Wire. Well, some of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm going to say their stage names. You say their real names. All right. All right. We got Poop.
Trey. Oh, Trey Chaney. I got to say, okay.
Trey Chaney. The whole name.
Trey Chaney. My bad. Trey Chaney. Bodie. J.D. Williams.
Okay.
Yes.
Weebay.
Hassan Johnson.
And Slim.
On one. Oh, you wanted me to get that because you wanted me to mess it up.
No. Big G.
He was saying and Wan, but it's on one, right?
And one.
And one.
Big G.
And one Glover.
That's what he is. Welcome, fellas. How y'all feeling, man?
We good, baby. Thanks for having
us.
us.
Amazing, bro.
23 years,
Yes.
man.
Jordan number.
The Jordan year.
Lord have mercy. What does that mean to y'all when y'all hear that?
It's crazy to me because I always tell people, see, this is the first time in a minute we've been together and be doing an interview. But I always say, when I get interviewed, I don't care what none of y'all say. We didn't know what we was doing. We was shooting that motherfucker. All we was trying to see was whose call time was the next morning. So we could go out and get something to drink, hang out for the night.
Well, I mean, I was on a continuous from Arce, so I knew we had something special.
Okay,
I had picked that up.
Right,
I had picked that up already. Plus,
it.
it was the first time, like, I'm looking at people that's coming up that I was watching they work the same way they was watching my work.
Indeed.
When I did Arce, everybody was already kind of famous already. You know what I'm saying? But when we got here, that made us, and I saw that work coming down.
But,
you know
but
what
see,
I'm saying?
the thing with me, nobody don't know, The Wire was my first job as an actor. So that was my first time I had ever auditioned for a role, first job. So just being around these guys, I'm like, yo, I remember asking JD a whole bunch of questions. Bro, what is a trailer? You know, what is what are they telling me to do? Like rehearsal, I'm like, all right. But, you know, like I said, man, to be here 23 years later and still just getting to it, you know, everybody healthy, living and breathing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a
I'm glad people
God.
find it new every day. Somebody find the show every day, so it don't really
The
age
show
out.
more popular now, something years later than it was when it was on
Right.
TV.
Yep.
Well, let's
None
talk about
of
that.
y'all knew it was going to be a cultural staple.
I definitely did.
I felt like it was.
That's
I
crazy.
know.
You ain't never tell me that. I ain't know that.
You
Hell,
from
it's like
Baltimore,
many
you
feet.
damn right. It's definitely a cultural staple.
Yeah, but when
When
you moving around anywhere in the world, though, they know you. You know what I mean? Like somebody might just stop and say, "Man, run them lines real quick." You know what I mean? They throw you and they quote your lines. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, but it's like the study part of it. Like when I first came on set, Trey would tell you we was right there. We was in interest trailer. And we was running lines, and Jess was like, what else you been on? I was like, this is my first time out.
Right.
He was like, your first time out where? I say, first time on the block. He was like, on the block. So we was shooting in a funeral home in Baltimore, broad daylight funeral home, and we was there. A lot of people don't know the 12 hours. 12 hours, hard days, right?
Turn around,
Turn around. So we out there, we busting it. And we ran the lines, we were out there, it was raining, we take break for lunch. It was just a family, and we still a family to the day.
Yeah, man.
Now, I want to start from the beginning, The Wire. So when y'all got the call to do The Wire, break that down when y'all first read the script, and how did y'all know that y'all wanted to do it?
So I initially auditioned for Weebay.
See, that's funny, because
I initially auditioned for Weebay's character. And I remember going in there with Pat Moran out there in Baltimore, and she like, yo, quote this monologue. So 2 weeks later, I get a call. She said, oh, we got some bad and good news. She said, the bad news is you didn't get the character as Weebay, but you was cast for the character Poop. And I was only supposed to be in the first 2 episodes in the first season. And then, spoiler alert, you end up getting Poop all 5 seasons. Last man standing. You know what I'm saying? So I was just happy, you know, getting that script. And throughout the years, throughout the seasons, it never said I was getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing with The Wire. You never knew who was getting off. They didn't tell you before. They would just, you get the script and you read. That's like when Snoop shot at me. You know what I'm saying? They like, Poop falls to the ground. He's bleeding. I'm like, okay, this is it. And then I woke up.
Take this into consideration, Trey, how you just said that. I don't know if y'all remember or not. The Wire almost ain't even take off. Because we auditioned before 9/11. 9/11
That's right, we
happened,
did.
and shit was shut down for 3 weeks. At least I'm on Staten Island, so anything to Lower Manhattan, so that was Holland Tunnel, the ferry,
And back out.
and the Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan Bridge was shut. You could only come in from GW or the Lincoln Tunnel for 3 weeks.
I was selling sneakers at the time, so I was just busting these moves back and forth,
Right.
you know, over the what you call
hustling.
it, as soon as they opened up. But the thing is, the callbacks was after they opened the city back up. Alexa Fogel office started calling us back.
I forgot about that.
I forgot all about this
That's
shit.
true.
Yeah.
I ain't think nothing. So when I went in, I auditioned for D'Angelo.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Shout out to Larry
Yeah,
Gilliard,
that's how
man.
when y'all
That's
was
our
going
brother.
through that. See, down there it was open because Baltimore was open.
It
on
was
highway.
open.
Yeah, we was turned up.
So actually, when I auditioned for Marlo Stanfield.
You auditioned
Jamie
for
Hector.
Marlo? Damn.
I auditioned for Marlo, and then when I got the call, they called me back. I was actually coming back from Houston with Steve Francis. And I got the call. Pat was like, "Hey, baby, you out?"
Everybody know what they was doing when they
I
got
got
that call,
good
though.
news. I got good news. And she was like, "You just landed Slim Charles on HBO," though. And that was
Boom.
it.
That
Yeah,
was
we've been
over
moving.
with.
Not
from
character
there.
one, Slim Charles.
Slim Charles.
Yeah.
Alexa
So, and
told
then, like,
me-
you
You character
yeah.
one, that ain't it.
She told me I was gonna be Bodie. Like I said, I wanted to audition for D'Angelo because I was like, I just came from playing a tough guy for all these years. Like, y'all gonna make me worse than I was already?
Right.
And then she was like, no, this your part, read this part, just go and do your job. I went in, came out, and they built on the character so much that I didn't know where it was gonna
They
go.
knew what they
But
was
I'm glad we
doing.
did.
Because in my
Yeah.
audition, I think
We was there.
David
Yeah.
Simon leaned over to Clark and said, Weebay. And I was so hot because I was tearing my shit up. I was in the zone. I'm like, who the fuck is Weebay? I caught myself. I was like, yo, hold on. Relax. But you know when you in the room, that's your moment. You could go off.
Take it.
You could go off in there. You could go off as long as it's taken or so. They threw me off, but I caught it. But that's what they were saying. Like,
That's what it is.
He's that guy.
But you
You're
gotta
this guy. You're that guy.
Yeah, but you gotta get in character though, cause like that was my first like audition. So when I read for Marlo, they was like, you know,
That's
come in.
crazy. That
You
was
don't
your
care
first
about nothing,
audition.
hoodie.
First
So I
joint.
threw my hoodie on. I went in there and read for it, and I was like, it was like, what's your name? I said Marlo. She said, "What's your name?" I said Marlo. She said, "What's?" I said, "What
He
the
had the
fucking
part
part
right there.
don't you
That's like
understand?"
you was auditioning.
My name Marlo.
That's like you was auditioning for Roots.
So I said my bad because that was my first audition. So she said, "No, that was great. That was also." I read again, and then I came out and I was like, "So what I supposed to do now? When I gotta come out?" She like, "No, we gonna give you a call." So I didn't really know. That's why I said we ain't really know what it was.
we ain't know
Like
what we was
JD, you already knew
But
because you was
JD
already in the
did.
play.
JD
I
knew.
didn't really know. That was my first.
Did
That
y'all
was my
take it
first time
serious
on
when
the
y'all
block.
first did it? Because I used to see y'all in the club every night with me.
I know.
Like,
No, it was fun.
I'm
bro.
surprised that
It was
they
fun.
even made it to
See,
set.
that's
That's
just
just proximity. That's proximity, though.
See, the bro was already on the show. I came
Every
later.
night. And they
Yo,
twisted.
every-
Yeah.
And
Come on
they
now.
twisted.
Come on now. Man, I used to sit right next to you and just behave, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, we was getting arrested on the weekend, bailing out.
It was
to
art
make it back
imitating
home
life for
one
real.
day. I think I was the first one. I got arrested in DC.
DC.
I popped off
Oh, my
in
God.
DC
Of course.
at Club Dream. Remember Dream?
Oh my God.
Some
Yeah,
ball
Mark
players was
Barnes.
in there. What was it? They played for
From
the
football
Ravens.
team.
They
But-
played for the Ravens. They was
No,
in
no,
there
it was
hating.
college. It was college dudes.
It was some young niggas.
Yeah, and it was him,
Uh-huh.
me, him, Idris,
I know I
Dominic
popped on him.
Lombardozzi.
I popped on
We all in
him.
this club
Hassan
rocking out.
JD never changed. They
Yo.
never changed.
They know
never
JD
changed.
though. When I
And
popped,
that's when
JD
Franco
get
stepped to the
tight.
side on us.
Yeah,
He ain't jumping.
But hold on.
What happened now?
Franco stepped to the side on us.
Y'all got into a fight?
Yeah, and Dream Club Dream, and like Fred was with us, but he
to the side.
was
That's
like,
This is what Fred Joe gonna
He
say.
was over to
Star,
the
that's
side.
my bro. He gonna go, you ain't had to hit him. You just wanted to fight. I was like, all right.
Fred family though.
That's
He
how it
family
was.
though. He
Nah,
wasn't
he
like
wasn't
that.
there.
You
If
get
he ain't lying,
in
we was
trouble.
smack every
It's
night.
like you get in trouble, and like George and Dave and them is like the uncles. They come to bury you out. 'Cause I got
They
locked
didn't know
up
when
for
I was
on
getting
the
in
show. I
trouble.
got locked up for a gun. They had me in legal times and everything. They came to court
remember
for
that.
me and everything. They came to court and I was like, "This is it for me," and they was like, "Nah, it's good. You got you. You all right." I said, "Okay, bow."
What kind of show is this?
But see,
What you mean?
That's the one reason that
So
always
art
said we
imitate
didn't
life.
blow the way that we should have because we didn't get in trouble the right way. You know what I'm saying? We was quiet. We was quiet.
So-
we had respect for each other. We wasn't just completely messing up.
Yeah.
If we would have had some type of scandal or something like that, it would have caught on like the second season, third
He
season.
bailed me out like twice, like this in the lobby at the precincts.
Yo, you know what's so
Y'all
crazy
had
though?
Let's go home.
Bro, you know what's so crazy? Social media wasn't what it is now, though.
Absolutely not.
That
all of
thing
the
would've been
stories of
gone.
niggas getting locked up in different situations
yeah.
like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
it wasn't video like when y'all was in the club rumbling.
Documented. Yeah.
Just think now.
That's true.
If that was, if it was now,
That shit would have been hard.
No,
imitating Weebay in the club.
That's what it
fight,
would've
like,
done.
oh shit,
That
that
was
was
kind of tough. I ain't
You know
gonna lie.
what? This is what I would never
was a good fight.
understand. This is what I never understand about Hollywood. Everything they say doesn't work always works and works in historic ways. Not only was The Wire named the greatest TV show of the 21st century, majority black cast, and you telling me that was like a lot of y'all's first time even acting.
That's crazy.
And they didn't know what they was doing. I'm shocked to hear that.
That's
And
insane.
that was crazy because it was like we was the largest African American cast in the
I'm about to
series
say
ever.
30 principal
History.
role. Everybody had
Everybody
a
was
talking part.
talking
Everybody
part.
had a main character. You know,
Facts.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
How you keep up with that?
So how does Hollywood convince people that black shit don't work?
I don't know
It's
because
wild.
behind the
It's
whole,
weird.
but behind closed doors, you get them execs respectfully and tell you, yo, hi, y'all the ones. We get all our shit from y'all.
I mean, we the blueprint.
Just tell
stories
y'all
every
just
day.
gotta
Other
tell
shows.
y'all story. Y'all keep letting us do it. I said, now, how the gatekeeper telling me that? How did this one work?
well,
That's a
yeah.
Rubik's Cube.
Another thing, Hollywood,
Yeah.
most of the
Serious.
time, they only want one at a time. One or two people at a time.
That's real.
So they're going to squeeze you in and squeeze you out.
Squeeze you in,
And
squeeze
if
you
you
out.
figure out how to make your own niche, then that's
You
it. But
stay-
most of the
stay
time,
on
they're
fire.
not going to grind it out
You
with
stay
you.
on fire,
Yeah.
you stay on fire.
Yeah,
Like
right.
it'll blow your mind. I read for so many roles.
Yeah.
Man, my head be spinning. Boy, I'm on this, they be like, what you doing? I'm reading, kid. I'm reading. I just read for this. I just read for 4 episodes on FBI. I don't know if I'm get it. Read for this, read for that.
You sharpening
What's
the blade.
next? You just
Yeah.
keep it
That's
sharp.
all.
You know what I mean? They
Sharpen
sometimes you
the
gotta
blade.
jump in
Your
the
craft,
short.
bro.
They
or
can't have a good
independent
TV
film
show
to
without
keep it
somebody
going.
from The Wire on it.
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
show out right now
JD,
without somebody from The
perfect
Wire.
example.
That's
Good
banging.
one.
Me and JD did 6 seasons on Saints and Sinners. Bounce TV Hulu. Me and JD. Okay, BMF, season 2 and season 3. Me and JD. You know what I'm saying? So like us being like the dynamic duo that started on The Wire together, was homeboys on The Wire. Now it's I think Saints and Sinners though we was at odds, right?
Yeah, we was enemies.
Yeah,
I'm
we was
sick of
enemies.
seeing your
we
ass.
ain't messing for real. Yeah, we had to lock in like we ain't messing with each other like that. You know
How
what I'm
much
saying?
of the script was improv though? How much did y'all improv? Did y'all go off script? Because none of it seemed like.
Not a lot. See, I
Really?
don't know. I
We
can't
didn't have to
speak.
really
I
go off
didn't
script a lot.
improv. That's how ill it was. It was all on the paper.
They can't. They don't let you do like you might can say one word, huh, Jay?
That's an ad lib, yeah.
The ad lib, but they
just
want that. They say,
improv?
cut. Hey,
Hey,
you need your line.
Yeah.
Run him his line. I always said I don't want nobody to say throw me my line.
facts.
So I just close the
Yeah.
door. I cut everything off and study. But yeah, the ad lib and they don't really go for it.
Like respectfully,
Yeah.
I did not say or the ad lib or improv that Nick's line. In season 1,
Wow.
when D'Angelo come back and he said, what you doing? I
Yeah.
said, I'm watching the Knicks fuck they draft up, right? That's exactly what Weebay said. I was like, I
Wow.
wonder how they let me in the garden after that.
Yeah.
Yo, but David wrote that.
Yeah.
I ain't say that.
Yeah.
They would let me get away. He would let me get away with a lot of stuff. Like, but I would test it out first.
Right.
Like I would use it on
Rehearsal.
one take, and then if
Rehearsal.
they don't like it, they just say don't do that.
Yeah, they do.
But then
Yeah,
most of the
don't
time
do
they
that,
say
yeah.
say that again or do
But
that. So
rehearsal time and
a lot
they-
of times
they
I used to
open up
like,
the
and
gate.
that was because
Yeah.
also with the dynamic that my crew had.
Right.
Yeah.
We had this fill up kind of space. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We got Andre Royal,
Oh,
Bubs
my
over
God.
here acting
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And then we got us
Yeah.
having this
Doing what we
communication.
doing.
Then we got the young boys. So it was always something in there. But most of the time, like you said, especially because we had to figure out that be more dialect. A lot of times.
How was that? How
That
was
was
learning
hard.
that?
We ain't
I tried it. Grand opening, grand closing.
We ain't doing it.
I'm saying so. It's kind of hard for it's hard for like New
Waits in New
Yorkers
York.
like to get the accent. But see, I'm from DC, so it's like
Facts.
the chew, the Doug. You know, you can get into
Right.
it.
No, you
you know
can't
what I
stand
mean?
like a
But
damn DJ.
Baltimore will pull your neck out if they know you faking it. You can't drag it too long with it. You just got to do it. Like see, like even with New York, like when I did the Deuce.
Yeah.
I had to learn dialogue. You know what I mean? We shot that in Brooklyn. Then we went to Silver Cup in Queens.
Okay.
So I shot that whole show.
Right.
We was back there, we did it, and it's just like you got to sit outside in New York to smell the air, to know what a New Yorker go through, to feel it. You got to get into that character.
Method.
So it's like, bam, it's right here. We here. What's next?
I ain't want to get stuck with that accent.
I think that depends on the era of New York.
You
too,
got to
though.
turn it
'Cause
on
the
and off.
sound
Like
is super New York.
Like Snoop.
New York.
Yeah.
Snoop.
Damn.
I always tell Snoop to turn it on.
Past New York, he passed New York.
Like with Snoop, with Felicia. She, as years ago, she got that Baltimore that is in her.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's Snoop.
She can't shake
Baltimore
it.
is Snoop.
If we don't talk like that, y'all would have never understood nothing we were saying.
Never.
And then like Snoop used to be like this, like with scenes we had, she's like this, bruh, come here. Say it like this.
Yeah. Nice.
Not like that. And I'll be like that, all right. It goes.
And how was filming in Baltimore? How was filming out there?
It was fun.
No, that was fun.
Yeah.
I can't
More shout out to Baltimore.
you Staten Island?
Scenes love y'all.
dude.
Man, look,
Just like
outside,
Staten Island.
they got
You
the
ain't
food.
lying, Envy.
They got the food coming out. Meth was getting his hair braided outside.
Yeah.
It was just like they
Yeah.
open you up, but when you messing that money up, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Man, y'all got going to block, yo.
Yeah.
There was a couple wet outs
let's
on
go.
set
Right.
too.
Yeah,
right?
like
Couple
really, then they
shootouts.
was like really serious.
We had to shut down for a little 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
David and
20.
them wasn't packing up though. They weren't shutting.
What about
Hold up.
It made it sound like it was a little quick rainstorm.
You be IG.
What about the
Yeah, we go
rats?
for 10, let's go.
They eat all of our food.
Hold on, let me say this one time. The rats.
The
no,
rats would
listen.
come out
We
at
was
night.
shooting
For
that
lunch?
scene. We was
at
shooting that
night.
scene.
They eat all our food up.
Look, we was shooting a scene. It was like maybe 5 below out and be more.
Yeah.
And we took a
it
break.
get cold.
It was me, Banger, Felicia, couple of other people. And they ordered pizza.
Yep.
Bro, they had like 10 pieces on the thing.
It was like the pizza
A
that
rat
Cole
this-
delivered to the
A rat
door.
this big,
And
bro.
be more.
Jumped up on the table, knocked the pizza down. Everybody broke. Boom. Then they just came. This rat. They
bullied you. They took care of you. We was gone.
Pizza.
They jumped on the jumped on the jump, knocked the whole boxes off, and then everybody just bumped Big Joint first. Big Ben. He jumped up and knocked everything down.
Big Ben.
Yeah.
And
had
me
the
and
plan.
Mike seen with the shootout when I shot Mike. No, when he shoot me.
Yeah.
There's a rat running across the shit in the background because I
was
got
near
scared to death.
Yeah, it was near
And I
you.
looked back, I said,
Them
oh,
jokes
but
like
you can
this,
see
bro.
it in the episode.
Them jokes like this and be more.
Looking like
this
Heathcliff.
like dogs. Not puppies.
No, that's true.
Dog.
Crazy,
Ain't no
man.
damn
Crazy.
Yeah.
Did y'all recognize the greatness in Idris back then? Did y'all see where it could go, or was something like
Yeah,
Of course.
because Idris was funny. I met him. What's the hotel on St. Paul right downtown?
Double tree?
Tremont?
Nah.
It was the Tremont. I
Tremont.
can't remember
Yeah,
that for nothing. So
That was the
boom,
joint-
I
that was the
met
joint
Idris
right
the
there.
the night before we filmed. All right, so boom, it was the Grant and the Foreman fight. Right?
Okay.
Grant and Foreman fought?
Grant informant?
Grant
I
or
don't know.
Holyfield. Or
You know, it's
Holyfield. It might have been
sports,
Holyfield and Grant fight that night. I met Idris in the lobby. We was gonna walk down to the harbor to the Hyatt and watch it down there.
Yeah.
Idris talking regular with a regular accent this whole
Right.
time. And got on the phone with his daughter, mother.
Man.
Stood up on
I stopped. We walking down the block. He just started talking that chatting, started that London shit. And I stopped.
You like
We kept walking. Then he finally looked back like, what, nigga? I was like, where you from? Like, you over here acting like you from the Bronx or something.
Yeah.
He was practicing on us.
But you, with
So I
Drish-
knew it right there. Like, yeah, he one of them
One
ones.
thing's it was a scene where we did with me and him sitting in the car. It's the scene where my character does this with my waist. And we was sitting in that car for a couple of hours and we was just talking. And I remember us getting to the point I was like, yo, because he wanted to have this magazine in the car that I ain't gonna get too deep about it. But they told him not to have it because of who was on it, right?
Okay.
So he was like, I'm going after this. Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone. So anyway, we in the car and I'm like, you know, when you leave here, you gonna be that guy. Like he like, well, I think a couple of us gonna do it. I'm like, yeah, but like you kind of like right under Denzel looking. Like looking like you about to go there.
Denzel looking.
And he said, we'll see. But it was crazy because when it was time for his character to happen, he didn't want that. He did.
Nah, that
he
morning,
didn't want that. He was mad as hell.
He was mad
in the morning.
because we filmed that whole morning.
Yo,
Right.
Remember? We
Yeah.
filmed that whole
Yep.
morning.
Yeah.
He
Sure did.
came in the truck. They was like,
He didn't
it
wanna
was
come
like
out.
it was
He
like
mad.
a cloud. It
No,
was like
yeah, I
a
heard
cloud
that.
over
Yeah,
our
he was
whole set.
mad.
Come on, the
when
truck.
the stringer got killed off?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he found out.
So he had no
never-
idea. He just found out
he
that
never
morning he was
know.
pissed.
Remember,
Walk
we
to
never
your
found
truck
out
and
until you
you
got
look
the
at your
script.
Oh, damn.
And
You
that's
never
it.
told y'all
This
what
was
was
the
going
one,
on.
yo.
I tell you.
At the end, because look, we used to film. They do the tandems now, so they do these blocks where you could shoot 2 and 3 episodes in a week. We really shot the 2-week episodes, so we started on a Monday and we wrapped the next week Thursday, and then it was a rehearsal Friday. and back at it on Monday.
Yeah,
13 times.
13.
So if they're gonna change something, if they're gonna change something, they'll change it within that.
They'll change
And
it
they
within
give
that.
But the
pages.
thing is, look, when we rapped on an episode, your new scripts in your trailer, your new script right in your trailer,
It's right there, already
So look,
there.
everybody started catching on to doing this.
Yep.
I ain't scared. I'm
I told you, everybody stick their head out their trailer. You good? You good? Yeah, we going out tonight. Then somebody always was like this.
Tough, bro.
You know what
Whoever
happened.
getting killed off that
They
way.
ain't opening that door.
Damn.
They ain't
It
opening
was
that
like
door.
that. It was
When me
really
and you
like
had to off Michael B.
They'd be
Jordan.
like, oh, that's what you
Mike was
call
scared.
it. All right, we taking you out tonight. Drinks on us.
Yeah.
You
But
going
see,
home.
but Sugar had to die, yo. Especially how D'Angelo. How he,
Yeah,
man,
he died. He did that
was
to his
messed
own
up.
family.
I thought he was going to get away with it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we
'Cause
all
he was
did.
Avon
Hold on,
right
now, y'all
hand.
refresh
So
my memory. Who killed
Brother
Straight? Who
Mazone
put the-
and
but who
it
put
was
the-
Omar
Brother
with the
Mazone.
yeah.
Who put the hit in?
Brother Muzon.
Brother Muzon, because remember
Brother
he
Muzon.
shot
But
him.
Who you say
Right.
who put the hit on
That
Stringer?
wasn't D'Angelo mother. That wasn't
No.
Avon's sister.
Brother
Nah.
Muzone was going back to get the revenge for Stringer setting him up.
Right.
Set him up, right?
And Omar joined in.
Omar
Yeah.
joined
So
in.
Don't
he
even
called
know
it down
my
on
own
himself, really.
You know, Stringer was trying to put them two
It was a
against
lot
each
of
other.
spins,
He
though,
he
bro.
was supposed to pee on him.
I thought that's what
Idris
you
was
was
like,
like.
Idris was like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing
that one
that.
up.
Yeah, I can't die and get
Yeah,
peed
that
on.
was the script.
gonna bring that
That was the
one.
script. Idris was like, we're not doing
bring that
that.
one up.
I wasn't gonna bring that part up. I didn't bring that part up.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. man.
So how did Idris treat y'all afterwards? Did he like
it was
distance
a
himself from y'all after that?
No.
Well, he was gone. He was basically gone. He was still gone. You still can reach him, though.
Yeah.
Nah.
See, everybody's always reachable, bro.
Yeah.
We're a family.
That's real.
It's just like the plate just get kind of thick, and you got to work. Like, we always talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Idris
talk. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Idris did the intro for my documentary Undeniable, the Trey Chaney story, which all of us are a part of.
Yeah.
And reaching out to him, it wasn't hard to reach out to him. We all
'cause,
started together. You
Yeah,
know,
he might be
But-
across the pond.
Yeah, but him
on
doing
you,
that,
really.
you know what I'm
you
saying?
back.
It really was a good look for me. You
And
know?
Michael B. Jordan was a young kid at the time.
Yeah.
Baby boy.
And
I
his
was working
death.
with him and seeing his success.
Well, for me, I mean,
racist.
him, and JD always was together on set.
y'all was
Even
on
my
every
separate
day.
scenes that I had with Michael B. Jordan, it was, he was special. You know what I'm saying? You knew.
So you seen that early.
Yeah.
I
seen
used
that.
to ride in
kill
the
him.
trailer with him and
Yeah, I
his
had to
mom
smoke
and
him.
set. Because I ain't had too many scenes with him, but I used to kick it with his mother.
Oh, yeah.
I love how family oriented he was.
Michael
Yeah,
B,
still.
baby bro, Mom Duke, I love you. I don't know where you
Yeah,
at.
just
She
saw them,
the
yeah.
one got them together.
Yeah.
She
Mom's was
And it was good money because
Telling
like he
you.
said, he had a lot of big brothers to watch out for him. And,
Yeah.
and what he was doing, like the way me and him, like he used to come out with me all the
Yeah.
time. She used to let him come out with me. I took him to Vegas. We went to Magic.
Yeah,
You know, all the little places.
Because he was
Miami.
one of the younger ones,
Yeah,
right?
Miami.
Michael
all of
was
us.
14.
Yeah.
And so we was
Michael
always
was
around,
14.
but we all got together and he came up with the right mindset. And so he was like set up pretty good from
Yeah,
going
he
off.
was.
But when we did the scene, we
When
took
y'all
him
had
out.
to kill him.
When we had to
he thought he
smoke
wasn't
him.
gonna never work again.
Yeah.
He says that.
He says that in person, like, bro, I was
He thought he was
sad, I
never
was
gonna
messed
work
up. I ain't think I was gonna
know
work
that
again. Yeah, he just said
vulnerability
that.
that
Yeah.
he felt at that time to he the man right now is crazy, right? Yeah, because he was messed up behind that.
Yeah,
He
man.
was only on one season, right?
He did one season.
Yeah, season one.
He did
But he
season
had
one.
got on
And I
drugs
think
and everything.
We smoked him in episode 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, towards
That was
the end.
the first season?
Yeah.
At the
Yeah,
end.
you get to-
And
oh,
we
why
he
was
sat
they
up,
get to the
he
second
sat up,
season?
started crying.
No,
We hugged him up,
yeah,
right?
that's
And
why
then we told
everybody
him,
was
we said,
mad.
look, man, after this episode go off, they gonna be looking for your name in the credits, and nobody never gonna forget you. They always gonna
That's
be
the
looking
thing.
for you. Boom.
And
Just
didn't
like
he
that.
do Hardball? He did
Yeah,
Hardball.
Hardball. That was
before the
before
Wire.
Before the
Yeah,
Wire.
before
Yeah,
the
that was
Wire.
before.
Yeah, so that's where I
That
knew him
was
from.
right?
Yeah.
Do you think the Wire could be made today in like the same raw way, or would it have to be censored to death?
Nah, because it wasn't in HD, but literally speaking, raw. But yeah, that too.
Another city, maybe.
you said
Not the
that's
White, not Baltimore again. I think it would have to be a whole nother city.
I don't even think they'd let them be like they was. Nah.
Like how we were.
It was
Yeah,
too. It was too
original,
authentic.
man. It was too
between
authentic.
that-
It was too authentic. Like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
the
But
same
Start.
part.
And where
the
you
look.
start.
That sounds like a human resource
That's what's
problem
missing.
now.
Like
Like,
Baltimore, like you can't
Yeah.
get no city like Charm City. Like it's just beautiful. Like the people, everything about Baltimore, how we shot it,
Yeah.
the
folks
family.
are
It was just a
lovely.
family. it's too authentic, man.
Yeah.
And what about the extras?
Never
Like,
happen again, right?
Oh, those are all 100%.
Did y'all cast the crackheads or they just was there?
They were real.
See what I'm saying?
And you can't
they
get
got
that like the
checks,
look.
Nobody got
They was right there. They knew everything
checks.
about Baltimore, the cuts, the alleys.
Yeah.
Like you can go like one that the scene when I killed the guy in the alley. Like you had to like clean the alley like 10 times. I ain't gonna say no name, but one person ain't want to fall. One person ain't want to fall in the alley, bro.
Hey,
And I say, listen,
dirty,
bro,
what?
you on
bro.
TV, bro. You
don't
got
know
to
what's down
fall in
there.
the alley, bro.
But he ain't
So
want to.
it was a movie. Hey, bro, I say we fall in the alleys all the time. Where I'm from, we got glass in our hands, all that, man. We all right here, man. So it's like that's the difference between us growing up and we from the hood. And then you get on the hood show, it's like it's not hard.
It's not hard at all.
You know what I mean? So it just was a blessing because the show saved my life.
But I don't care what nobody say. Nino Brown is one of the top 5 gangster characters ever to play, and that wasn't easy. That's I don't care what nobody say. Like, as much as they think it's easy for us to pull out because we from the inner city or this, that, the third.
I got you.
No, it's not.
not.
I don't
It's
shoot
not.
people.
Yeah.
I don't play with guns. I don't play with guns. Why that's supposed to be regular? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not easy.
Like there's a difference between growing up in the hood and actually being a criminal.
Yeah, it's a total difference.
yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah.
clacking, filling clips up and all that.
feel
You
you,
know what
bro.
I mean?
But they want to talk about spinoffs and reboots to The Wire. What's your opinion on that? Spinoffs or reboots or?
But that's when you had said something else, Charlamagne. Where would you start, Envy? Where would you pick it up at?
Yeah.
Michael K not here, which I'm sure would be a real center
Rest in
stone.
peace.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Michael K. Williams.
Michael K, right? That's who you would definitely have to have, right?
Spinoff, yeah,
He's
everybody
gone. Lance gone. There's so many people,
Man,
right? But where would you
a
start?
lot of our brothers.
Even if you try to pick up off where it left off with Mack, right? With Tristan.
Right.
When he killed Snoop, he was supposed to be like
you
the
could follow
new-
him or you could follow Marlo wherever he gonna hide out
Right.
at.
Yeah, because Marlo got out. I bought the
Marlo got
Connect. I bought the Connect at the end from Marlo. Went to
So that's
visit him
a
in
good
jail.
one.
But it was crazy because the whole pod was when Prop Joe,
Yeah.
you know, when,
Right.
when Meth,
Yeah.
when he did that and I killed
Cheese.
Meth,
Yeah,
I killed Cheese, everything was flipping around because we had the co-op. We was sitting in. It was all us at first, Bodie, all us, we
Yeah,
was
it's too many
together.
variables.
And then
But you
everything
know what's
just started
crazy?
spinning
Where would
off.
you
People
start?
just
But
like going out.
even my character, the character arc from
was
going
selling
from the
shit. You was
street.
in Foot Locker.
Yeah, I end up working at Foot Locker.
So you never know, you know.
being the manager at Foot Locker. So it's like
but where-
the Cuddy
where would
character
you
could come
start?
back.
I
different
think
city.
you take somebody and move them to another city.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
Come to North, Brick City.
Yeah.
That'd be a fire one.
But then at the
I'm
end
saying,
of the
hey,
day-
I had the
Hold on,
Connect.
hold on.
I was
Hold
with
up.
the
Come to
Brooks
DC.
now. I had all the games.
come to
But
DC.
at the end of season
So, hey, what you gonna do?
They got
2 or 3, Omar was in New York, and then they never even showed that again.
Oh
Remember?
no, yeah, he did come up, but then he came back. Remember?
They
Oh wow!
alluded to that.
They told him to leave.
He
Remember?
did.
And then
I
he said,
remember that,
Then
but
he
on
came
the
back. He
comeback.
came
Right.
back for something. I forgot
Right.
why, but
Yeah,
he came back
right.
to get somebody.
I just
yeah,
don't think
that
it'll
would
be
a
able
good
to be
thing.
written like y'all, because you see, I asked y'all, was any of it improv? It was like real dialogue. I'm from Baltimore, like niggas talk like that.
Yeah.
Like
I got you.
100%.
my whole life growing up,
Yes.
I literally thought all of y'all were from Baltimore. Just
Wow.
growing up, I thought it was so. I knew Idris Elba wasn't, because it was a couple scenes, right? When that nigga get mad and he get high,
It come out, right? How many times I used to tell him that? I used to be like, you ain't fooling me.
Actually, that part, you might be telling that part when he tried to get me to kill Clay Davis.
Yeah, and he was like,
He
no,
was
say,
he was
mad.
mad. And
Yes.
then Avon come
He's
on
like,
the side
I
and say,
knew.
man,
I
let me
see you
stop.
get mad.
Y'all make some hard shit before. Some was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Now I gotta ask
He
this
get
meme
mad.
right here.
What's
Do you hate this meme?
Hey, yo.
Do you hate this meme?
I use
No.
it every day.
I did used to
the
hate
joint.
it, right? Because nobody understood it. I knew where it was from.
You knew what it. Yeah, that
Nobody
joint.
understood it, but then it started catching on, especially with the younger kids. I was like, oh, hold on, I gotta get my uncle on with the shorties, and I gotta
get my
explain, I
uncle on.
gotta educate them to where that fucker. They'll be like, yo, that's you from the meme, but they don't know where it's from.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, well, this is the dopest show in the world, not because I was on it, but because it's dope.
Facts.
And then
Go
you
check
know
it out,
they go
yeah.
check it out.
They go
the
check
story.
it out,
So
yeah.
it made it timeless. The memes just made everything timeless.
Yeah, man.
It don't get old. It don't get old.
Nah,
It don't get old.
It don't.
They use
It
it all
don't.
the time.
I can't front.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask y'all, since y'all mentioned them, how did the loss of Michael K. Williams impact y'all?
Man, it was tough.
I was mad. mad.
Hey, it
was
crushed so.
tough,
Remember
man.
when I was on the balcony in L.A.? So I was.
Yeah,
We was on the phone, FaceTime, talking to JD, Trey, Mike, and I had just talked to Mike 2 days before that because he was like, some people was looking for me for a role, and he was like, "Bro, we down here. You gotta get down here.
Yeah.
Get out of that city. Come down." And I was like, "Wow." Then he called me about another piece that they was trying to get me to work on with my band, Backyard in DC. So after that, I talked to Trey, and we was talking, and then I had just talked to him and Snoop.
Yeah.
Then it hit. But that joint crushed me,
Yeah,
man.
it crushed me, man, because
that was big, bro.
They
That was
slime
big,
Mike,
bro.
man.
I
That
always
was
say
big,
though,
bro.
Michael
You know
K.
what I mean?
Williams, he
They knew what they
wasn't.
were doing.
Michael K. Williams wasn't an industry person
No.
for it.
Mm.
He was more so like, bro, how's your mom, dad, your wife, your kids? Like he was that. With,
See,
that,
Mike
that
was
was
trying
my
to save the
relationship with
world.
him, man. And talking to him
swear
weeks
he
before
was.
that he passed, it was just
And they
like
ain't
what?
had nothing
Yeah.
left
I
for
hit it
himself.
hard.
You understand what I'm
Like,
saying,
it is-
Charlamagne?
Why you say they slimed him? What you mean?
Well, like the people that served him,
Oh, got you, got
they,
you,
they,
got you.
they slimed him
Facts.
because
Got you.
because they knew what they was doing. They knew who Mike was, and it was all out of bounds. And anybody with a heart, that's why when they did caught up with him, I didn't feel bad at all. Throw him under the jail.
Nah, I feel you,
know
bro.
hustlers gotta feed their family, but y'all slime my bro. Cause y'all knew
they got him, bro.
y'all how thirsty, because it was COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was cold.
So under any other circumstances, Mike wouldn't have put himself on the front line like
Yeah,
that.
man.
But Mike a real one too, right?
Oh, he in the streets. Look,
He outside with it, yeah.
I'm
So-
from Newark, East Orange, Irvington, all of Essex County, right? And I don't know why, but for the last like 3 years that he was around me, we was always kind of
Always
in
together.
the same area, you know. So
Or
even
just
when my
left.
daughter,
Nah, Mike was
when my
always
daughter was
around.
born, after we had finished the show,
Yeah.
my daughter was
Wow.
born. For some reason, he only lived a couple of blocks away from me in East Orange, and I'm like, he
Oh yeah,
he was on a
Mike
block,
and them on the block.
Yeah,
on
on a number block.
Outside.
Outside
Yo.
over there.
Yeah, we can't say it on there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
the
but I
block.
walked over there with my
Yeah.
daughter, you know,
Yeah.
first time person I'm showing my daughter and everything, and then going up from then all the way up till now, like we would cross paths on shows. We did a couple more shows together.
Yeah.
We would just be in the same neighborhoods, family, friends.
That's what he was.
It was just something, I don't
Family,
know
bro.
why we ended up being around each other so much when that happened. So when it did
Yeah.
happen, and he had a special type of service in East Orange where we were, and it was like, you know, that stuff don't feel real to you at first. You know, you like, damn, how you do all of this?
I know.
And then now it's
And
just
then it's-
pictures of you.
it's
Like,
over.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you do all of this, right? Yeah, we here now.
Because he like that. He was that hands-on. He'll FaceTime you like, man, pick up that phone.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like, you know, you used to seeing that and hearing that, but you don't got it no more. That joint, it hit you, man.
Yeah, because Mike
That
can
joint
check for you.
crush you.
Like my story that I'll never forget with Mike, and I think this when I was staying at the Clarion though, up there by the monument with the
I know which
Washington
one you're
line on Charles.
Charleston, yeah. Charleston.
Yeah.
So
Charles, yeah.
so every Sunday, Mike go to church.
Yep.
He ain't come knock on my door to go to church, but at the church, he come knock on my door every Sunday, and we walk up to the lake, to the market, to the what I'm trying to say.
Mart, liquor store.
No, Lexington.
Lexington Market.
Yeah, I was right the first time.
Yeah,
I was
Lexington
right the
Market.
first time.
I'm like,
I was right the first time.
You could be talking about the block. I don't know what you talking about.
I didn't get this shit out.
Just though.
So boom, we walk up there and go get that lump crab cake breakfast.
Yeah, shout out
With
Lexington
the
Market.
French
Lexington
fries,
Market, yeah.
the coleslaw with the crackers and the mustard. That shit used to be $13. The two biggest lump crab cakes in your face for $13.
Man, crazy,
every
bro.
Sunday, I'm like, Mike, I got you. You got me next week. I got you this week. Right? Yo, every Sunday
That's
after
what you
church.
miss,
I
man.
used to
That's
love him
family,
for
man.
that.
Man.
Can we be
Love
like,
that brother.
he bang on the door like police though.
Yeah.
Yo, Mike, you ready? Yeah, like I'm coming. You just came from praising the Lord. You look knocking on my door now.
That's how you-
JD, when he seen us in Atlanta,
On my door now. You
when he
just
seen
came
us in Atlanta like a couple of weeks before he passed, we were out there shooting Saints and Sinners, and I'm in a grocery store. I get a tap on my shoulder. Trey, come on, let's get in the car. That First thing he said, just out of nowhere, I'm like, Mike, what you doing? He like, I'm filming something out here. I think he was doing Happen Leonard out there. Got in the car with him. It ended up turning into a whole party. Like we went in the joint, he was cooking. He like, call JD, Tasha Smith. Shout out to Tasha Smith. She
Shout out Tasha.
Yeah, we was in there just kicking it, man.
Why was his balcony across the street from my balcony?
From where we
I know. I'm staying at the 12 and he was across the street, so it's like we could kind of see each other.
It sound like that nigga was your guardian angel for real.
That's what was going on.
So hold on, he took your groceries back to his house and y'all cooked?
No. He,
That's what
no, wait. Hold on. I was in the grocery store in Publix. We was just I was staying at the 12. He was staying across the street at another hotel. So he was in there with somebody. They were grabbing food. I was grabbing food. He like, bro, come to my place. Tell JD to pull up. I'm gonna be over here cooking. Y'all just pull up. So I took my groceries back to my hotel, and then I went across the street.
Yeah,
and I called JD.
I kept mine for Take my food.
Rest in peace to Michael K.
Yeah, man. That was our dog.
I want to ask you, how hard was it to break out of your wire characters when it came time to audition for other roles?
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. The Wire ended in 2008. I didn't work again what they would consider mainstream into 2015 when I booked Saints and Sinners, which was a 6-season show, a job. I guess, but being, what they call typecast or whatever, all right, I'm going in the rooms with the casting directors, with the directors, producers, but with me not like booking certain jobs or whatever, I just started creating my own, you know what I'm saying? So when I started Cheney Vision Entertainment, my company, I'm partnering up with cats like Food with the Camera. Shout out to my brother. I'm producing my own films. Hidden Lies, Love and Larceny. I'm partnering up with people like Anthony Clark, Dana Freeman, and we just doing a whole bunch of like my own independent projects, which is really, what got me to the place of booking what they consider mainstream. We own this city, BMF. Because I stood on the streets of Washington, D.C. from 2010 to 2015 selling all of my independent films out the trunk of my car. That was something that most celebrities wouldn't dare do. So it's people walking up like, man, you poop from The Wire. What you doing out here? I'm like, bruh.
I gotta get it.
The Wire was The Wire, and I learned a lot. But if we going to sit up here and consider myself a working actor, I'm out here. I'm out here taking it back to the street. I'm pumping my own website, CheneyWay.com, and then that led to my man George Pierre, who was casting for Saints and Sinners.
Shout out George.
Shout out George Pierre, man. Casting me for Saints and Sinners, the Keisha Cole biopic, BMF. Like that's our brother out there in Atlanta. But he called me one day, like, yo, I heard what you're doing in the streets, man. Like, you pumping your own merch and your own movies out the trunk of your car. And I'm like, yeah, man. But this is the way that I'm getting it. And I was, like, creating, like, really developing my fan base. Because people seeing, like, a celebrity out on the street just getting to it, it just helped me in so many ways. And now
it did. And your work, like I've seen that even before you hit BMF and we own the city. It's a lot of your projects on Tubi. I've watched them. Like, I
appreciate that.
Definitely. So you definitely was out here still.
Yeah, I just produced this joint called Hidden Lies. Like I said, I executive produced it. I starred in it. I casted my brother JD Williams, Clifton Powell.
It was fun. We just me, Cliff, acting up again.
Yeah, we just having fun with that one. Like I said, Undeniable, the Trey Cheney story is out right now on my YouTube channel, Trey Cheney 1 YouTube channel. I've been putting out a lot of different projects. And like I said, these brothers are just involved in everything I'm doing. It feel amazing to call them and say, bro, man, let's go get to it. We even doing like the Wild reunion parties.
See, I don't even like saying
the Wild reunion party. You said what happened?
How long it been? 28, how many years?
23.
23.
So what's 28? Oh, Clockers is 28 years.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, 23 years for the Wire.
But no, 23 years, right?
23 for the Wire.
We 23 plus together.
We 23 plus together.
It's just that studying part of it.
So like the answer, like how you say, how do you break out for other roles? It ain't even so much breaking out, more so than that's what they want. They want the Weebay, the Bodie when you come in the room, right?
They definitely do, because it's something that's gone viral of you. I do not know where it's something you can tell me so I can go watch it. You like, how you know what's best for my family, bitch? What is that?
Flatbush misdemeanor. Shout out Kevin Iso, my dude there. Listen, that was on Showtime.
Okay.
Right.
For 2 seasons. They weren't ready for us.
Really?
They weren't ready. No, it was a blessing. Shout out Showtime now. But we didn't make it to that third to the contract yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's good. You got
because
to.
it would have been like,
man.
it would have been like, if we do this,
Pay up. Yeah.
not even that. Not even that.
You mean where the story was going?
Yeah, that shit would have changed the
yeah.
spectrum. Like, you know what I mean? Like the criteria for cable TV. You know what I mean? Because it's not. It was on Showtime. It ain't Netflix. It ain't Hulu. It was none of that. And they just let me go. They let me go. This is
I swear
classic.
it was like that was like.
Yeah, it is.
I swear I was watching
That's what I was
Weebay.
talking about this morning.
That was hilarious.
Because then Roy go, you don't have to cuss it. Yeah, one of the two will suffice. And I really go, what the fuck you know about my family?
That's my family.
Young, when I say that, I call you, bro.
Yeah, that was one take.
That
I
was
remember
wild.
doing that in one take and wouldn't have thought that would go viral. See?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you gonna want? JD,
It's them pieces, man. Like right after that, I was on Treme.
Yeah, that was a great look.
that was
a
HBO. So
great
I had to
look.
learn that. I had to learn like the parish, the accent of New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to do that and then come right back up. I was on the Deuce for HBO. I shot Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones. We shot Prospect in Seattle. I did that. I've been working, but it's like I had to learn to close the door and study.
Yeah, man.
When I watch JD, all these guys like they know what they doing. you got to be able to say, the director say, I like Anwan's work. I'll bring him back again.
Yeah.
So they called me back out there and I shot Taste. And then they shot the other parts in China. Came back and we shot the ones and I played the chef because they liked it what I did in the Deuce. So I be getting my little joints, man.
That
but
was
it's like
a period. Treme was too?
Treme, yeah.
Was it a period piece?
Yeah. I had
It
like
was a throwback, right?
Yeah, it was a throwback.
All right,
yeah.
that's
You know what I mean?
a
Somebody-
good look.
like
That was a good look.
It was
I
on the
like that.
musicians in New
Yeah,
Orleans.
it was an ode
It
to
was an
the
ode
music.
to the
Like they
music.
played
Yeah.
homage to the music.
So it's like you get them roles and then you don't get them roles. Then you be cold.
You don't get them roles.
Then we're
Call
like,
each other, be
Trey
mad.
be like, man, Trey used to be on the joint like this. Man, I'm telling you, bro, they ain't picking. Then I get in there, they say, Anwan, we loved you, but baby, you're so tall. You make my acting look so
And my thing is always on so
like you
short.
look
All of that.
so- So
All of that.
even like Boardwalk Empire.
Yep.
So I auditioned for Don Pursley. So when Michael K found out, he said, bro, I'm pissed off. Why you ain't call me? I said, I wanted to get in and surprise you.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
guy that
Put
got
you
the
on.
role, he murdered the role. The guy, and I gave him a hug for the premiere.
Yeah.
I said, bro, you killed that joint. He was like, man, when I heard you was going out, I said, I wasn't going to get it. I said, bro, you are Don Pursley. You got to give
And it's
people
very
their props
rare
because they're like, yeah,
that happens
they don't
where
get,
you
man.
feel like,
yeah,
yo, somebody that got a
that
role
Chalky
you
White
went
was-
out
yeah.
for.
It was
White
crazy.
killed it.
Yeah, he burned that role.
That was my
So it's
favorite
like I
character,
read for
Chalky
stuff
White.
all the time, like, and I know my brothers know.
Yeah.
We audition daily. You know what I mean? I just had some stuff. My agent, shout out Mr. Ali Roberson, RNA Management, right here in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So it's like she send me stuff like, and you just gotta keep reading it.
Envy, it's a road that I need to manifest. Listen to this. 13 years in the projects, my mentality is what, kid? You talk a good one, but you don't want it.
Oh, you been saying that
Sometimes I
forever.
wonder.
you been saying you want to play Havoc for
Sometimes I
That's
wonder.
what he want. That's his.
But
best.
it wasn't what you and JD gonna do Havoc and Prodigy.
Well, no,
we was just kicking it
Havoc
around.
gave me his blessing. Me and Havoc been talking for 2.5 years, and you know the press is running with it. TMZ and
That'll be
Rolling
good.
Stone.
Y'all got that.
And
Y'all
Y'all
kill it.
would.
like
Y'all
right
kill
now,
it.
bro.
Y'all
Like
kill it.
I definitely
like
compete.
we've been talking, and my thing is this: like just studying everything, like because
I
the
gonna pull
project
that
would have to
off.
be about
Stupid.
what made them speak like this. Even if we all
Right.
got an idea of why they recorded these records or why they were speaking like that, it has to be the backstory, the mindset of why these 19-year-old brothers were doing this.
Have you read Prodigy, My Infamous Life?
No, I'm grabbing
That
it, though.
shit should be a movie.
Yeah,
It
it
should.
should.
I got a chance to have lunch and dinner with Prodigy a couple of times.
Yeah, and I was in a
all I
whole
could
bunch,
do is
and I was in a
voice
whole
and
bunch of
add to,
Prodigy
you know.
videos.
I know how Prodigy is, and I got a chance to kick it with him. Even he was a good dude, real good
Nah,
dude.
P
So
was.
I would
That was my
definitely put
guy.
a lot of respect on
So
that.
that's-
But if that comes around, that comes around.
That's what
We
I want to
definitely
tell you.
kill
Like I say, man, I'm well prepared. Like I'm well prepared. The beard will get shaved off. I'm
He gonna
already in
take it off.
shape.
Nah, y'all are chill.
The Trey Cheney conscious that I'm in the gym at 5:45 a.m. every morning. I'm out by 7.
Boy,
I'm
y'all
eating
cut that joint in the
grilled chicken,
bathroom.
Cobb salads with no bacon. Like I'm ready. I'm well
He said
prepared. And
bathroom.
Havoc knows this. You know, we've been having conversations, and like I said, man, it's just and I seen my brother. J.D. Williams is Prodigy, and
Yeah,
when
you
I
gotta
put
start from the beginning. You gotta start from Hit It From the Back,
Yeah.
which is more of the party stuff, and then how it changed to the Dunny.
That's a song, y'all. That's a young generation. That's a song. I know Envy a little kinky. You know Envy get. That's a song. All right, I saw I just looked at you. Whoa, that's a song, y'all. All right.
They know Hit It From the Back is Mob's first song that went commercial when they got signed. But you have to go through the whole thing and how the Dunny Sunny language came around and all that.
And like I said, Havoc knows just the conversations behind the scenes. It's like, all right, whenever it come into fruition. But I'm gonna bring this into fruition, man.
That's why you gotta read My Infamous Life.
No,
that book tells you all of that.
We about to go grab that now.
You gotta get that.
That's the move.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's the move.
That's Prodigy more Prodigy. Though.
I mean, it is, but you can't tell that. He don't tell his story without having it,
of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta go through the whole thing, the production, because I still think Shook Ones is the best production.
Yo, bad.
That's
that snare, that high.
That's $100 bill.
Like that's
it was a movie. It was a movie.
Yeah, bro. We gonna make it happen.
Queensbridge, right? They opened up with Queensbridge. They in the Saab going over
Queensbridge,
that
we
was
don't
that
play.
was summer. That was summer New York. That just was reeked of the summer. And some violent shit about to happen.
So look, we're gonna call down some funding for that. Anybody out there listening, y'all already know.
Let's make it happen tomorrow.
And the family, we would love to do it. And
That's
me, I'm just, they all know. I just stay as busy as I can. I'm back and forth here, Georgia, back and forth to here. I just finished up, like you said, we just finished doing this season of BMF. It's gonna be crazy as hell. I tell you.
This the last season.
I bet.
We don't know. I don't know, man. Look, honestly,
know.
I mean, look, the whole thing, that whole debacle or whatever that was great promotion. Like, and so all I know is like whether Fifth did it on his own or they all did it together.
It was amazing.
That was
If you
good,
ain't
a good way to
running
take
up.
advantage.
Meech really looks sad every day.
Yo.
So I don't think that was fake.
Well, then this might be it, but they had already did this. It's gonna be fire.
Every day, yo. And Big Meech just be smiling like he ain't the
projects,
reason
just like
this
you
nigga
said,
lost his job.
and also trying to get into this space that y'all in too, not this space, but so it's just staying busy. But I feel blessed.
I want to shout out Cannabis 10X because they, for the 23-year anniversary of The Wire, they presented me with. They said, Trey, you in the service business. You be promoting real hard. So this Cannabis 10X, kind of 10X line with my man Vin, Jason, and Holly over there. They like, yo, you need your own strains. We need lighters. You need merch. So I want to shout them out because like we're talking about doing more tours, like Wire reunion tours and really just bringing the cast members together to do these meet and greet panels, to have discussions about what it felt like, be leading up to booking The Wire, after The Wire, in between what the cast members are doing. So man, kind of 10X, man, those my peoples over there, So right now we putting it together,
Is that a phone from The Wire that you got, Bodie?
Hey yo,
Let me see the phone. Why do you have that? Why you have this? She peeked it though. This is the same phone that you had when you was on the couch outside running the project, yo.
I'm authentic.
That's a Nokia? Jess, that's a Nokia?
Nah, this ain't
that's
no
a burner.
Ericsson?
It's a burner.
This a burner for real.
It's a burner.
It's a burner.
No,
for
my
real.
Galaxy is over there in my bag, but I'm saying that's my jam right there. Yeah, that's my little jam right there.
He got the
Because I know nobody got it, and I know people freak out when they see it. I be like, what?
Yeah. One last question. I know I go. One last question. So look, on that, I forgot what season it was, but remember when I think it was the mayor or one of them congressmen, right? It was like because y'all wouldn't stop selling drugs or whatever, so he had a block designated
Amsterdam.
for y'all to just Amsterdam, right?
Amsterdam.
Now, when that was shot, were they all people that y'all casted, or y'all just were they real crackers? Was that like a real thing?
No, they was real crackhead thing. Huh?
They was extras. They was extras, but all those people lived there.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, so that block wasn't abandoned.
No,
they did live.
You know how Baltimore blocks be?
I
Like
know,
half
but
of
I
them is
didn't
empty.
know. Right.
So like it was like only 2 people living in like that whole block. So it was kind of empty, but. Yeah,
but you know that was the truth. But you know that was true, though. But you know that was the truth.
Yes.
That was true. That you really can go right there. That's why I say Baltimore is different.
Right.
You don't pay him in crack?
It is
Really
true.
go
Right.
really go there and they not gonna mess with you. You sell the bank.
Yup, you don't get locked up. You don't get, nothing. You just gotta
Stay there.
within
It's
that
a lot of
radius.
money. It's a
Buy
lot of money
drugs,
in
do your
Charm
drugs.
City.
Don't go out that vicinity. And you good.
It's a lot of money in Charm
That's how
City.
it was controlled chaos.
Yes,
Literally
sir.
controlled crime.
real rap.
Damn.
My last question: What do people still misunderstand about The Wire, even after all these years?
Best television show ever.
No, that is
Yes.
that it's not a black show. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, you know what? That's real.
That's what I think people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, that's
it's an American show. It's
Mm.
about America. And it just so happened we telling the stories of mostly black people, but it got layers. It's about how the street affects the police affect the politicians affect the street.
Education.
So that's what it's about. People look
And
at it like it's a
education.
corner show, but
coming
it's
in,
not.
everything. That show taught you everything. The
Mm-hmm.
Wires taught you everything about what you need to know about life.
And like I keep saying, it's the blueprint
Everything.
to all the other shows that you see, and that's why you see cast members from The Wire sprinkled in all the other shows.
And in retrospect, the people appreciate it because I get people all the time, like on Cameo when I do my little shout outs. I'm watching the show with my husband. He be impatient with me. But I don't like all this stuff with the politics and and I gotta hit him with a soliloquy. And I gotta hit him with a soliloquy like, no, listen, you gotta stay patient, be patient with him because the writing comes full circle. Like I was mad I didn't watch season 2 at first. Right? I was like everybody else. Like what the fuck? Like, and then if I would do it over, I would have traded season 2 for season 3. I would have brought Marlo in earlier and the Greeks in them later. As far as the storytelling concerned.
I feel you.
I
And
definitely feel
we
you.
would have
No,
got
that would've
that
been dope.
praise, Charlamagne, that we would have rightfully deserved at the time.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, we went on hiatus.
Yeah.
People thought the show got canceled.
It never got canceled.
So we
never
got
got canceled.
5
Just took it
seasons
down.
in 7 years, 6 years.
6 years,
See?
7.
And then they just all the
See?
different characters
You know
started
what I'm
coming,
saying?
and the show just went crazy.
Yeah.
But you gotta. It was something
Yeah.
that was ahead of its time. So when David and them was penning it,
Mm-hmm.
they was like, "No, this is the sequence." I know he probably knew it.
Yeah,
though.
he
like
did
they
it.
ain't not gonna like this.
Yeah.
but you know it'll come full
gotta
circle.
teach you.
Yeah, it was
You
a
talking about
reason.
the
It was
Greeks?
a reason
When
why
the
the
Greeks
show
came in,
put in there
yeah,
like
because
that.
I ain't gonna lie, that was my
You know
least
what I'm saying?
favorite
The
season.
docs, exactly.
That was my
With
least
all the
favorite.
docs.
So
Everything comes
my
in,
favorite
Marlon.
seasons is 1 and 4.
Yep.
1 and 4 for me.
1 and
Yeah.
4.
1 and 4 was the beginning.
That's
4 was
it.
the education
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
youngins
yeah,
introduced.
yeah, yeah. 1 and
Shout
4
out to
is
Mack
it.
Wiles. That's our brother.
Yes,
Mack.
Mack.
Mack, 1 and 4 is
Mack,
it.
that's my
They
dog.
show
That's
you
it.
what your kids was doing while you was doing what you was doing, or at work. You know what I mean? That's what we need. And like each, I gotta plug we got a nonprofit, Hugs Not Slugs.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to get my brothers to come through where we go to schools and talk to the kids.
Yes.
A lot of kids not getting hugs at home. They're only getting slugs when they walk out their building. As a little kid, I was going to school and they had a dead body by the trash can, still raining on the guy. And then they finally put a top over
Yeah,
him,
bruh.
and he's still there when we came out at 3:15
That's crazy.
with the
Damn.
news people and all that. So it's
crazy.
It'll mess with your mind.
Yeah,
So
mental.
we hugs not slugs, and we gotta teach these kids. You know what I mean? They gotta know. You know what I mean? They ain't getting no hugs at home. They don't even know what a hug is.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah.
And then also you ain't your brand, right? Is that your
This
brand?
is backyard. This is backyard for life.
Okay,
You
you
know,
got the
Backyard for
jacket, the
life.
hat,
Go,
the
go,
light.
we
for life.
all got our stuff.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
yeah,
baby,
so it's
cannabis.
this.
I got
you
shout
know,
out my
Roots
wife.
Picnic.
Okay.
We had the Roots Picnic, the 31st, for June 1st. The Roots Picnic. And then we had the Cousins Festival with Pusha T.
I'll be there
in
in
June.
June.
Yeah. So we're gonna be down there too. So shout out to my backyard go family and everything.
So y'all,
So we
y'all,
real
real
quick.
quick,
Great, yo. Y'all don't even
real quick. I want to shout out. I want to shout out my wife Aisha Chaney. You know, I've been married for 20 years.
Yes.
She made this
Big
jacket.
dog.
She's one of the biggest fashion designers in the
very
world.
Dope.
iBody. When I walked in here, y'all see that y'all got the new fragrance.
You got it.
iBody, and it's only available on ChaneyWay.com. I do direct to consumer
Straight
business,
up.
so
Yes.
you come
Give me
straight to me.
mine.
But man, shout out to my wife Aisha. Shout out to my son Malachi Chaney, who just finished his freshman year strong at Savannah State University.
Do your thing, boy.
My daughter Martina and my granddaughter Morocco just
Yo,
turned
you
5.
somebody's grandfather? my
Yeah,
nigga? You
yo,
look
when
good.
I met my wife 23 years ago, I met my 8-year-old daughter.
yeah.
Not only did I consider her, you know, I made a vow to her mother. Not only did I consider my daughter, I never considered her my stepdaughter.
Yeah.
So I raised her from the time she was, you know.
Amazing.
Hey, look, for the
Years
record,
old.
your son bigger than you too.
He
Look, we was at the game. We was at the football game.
My son is not bigger
and I
than
ain't
you.
see him.
She
So
like, nah, I ain't doing that.
I
Right?
said, hold
up.
But he's bigger than sit down. He's bigger than straight up. I said, man, go ahead and sit down.
My son is about almost 6 feet, but I'm just proud, man. I'm proud to still be here, man, doing what we love and taking care of our families, man.
Because I'm about to say, what's the three of us as grandfathers? Yeah. Except you, he over there.
Mine just turned 17 though. Shout out, Buddy. I love you.
Right here on my phone.
I ain't pop. Yeah.
Nah, that's pop yet. I
love that though, man. That's what life is about. You want to get to that age where I'm showing off my grandkids. That's life.
Showing off your family.
That's what life is about.
23 years. 23, baby. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, man.
I love y'all so much.
We love y'all back. We love y'all back.
I love y'all so much. I watch The Wire every year like I never seen it before in my life. Don't care. I'm still putting people on with it. It's the best show. It cannot be implicated, can't be remade, can't be none of that.
Jess, I want to catch you in Hit Live too.
I mean, implicated. I said implicated.
I want to catch you in my new movie.
All right, that's what's up. All y'all need to ask me some shit.
Good answer.
And there you have it. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.